G'day, my name's Callum Lawson. We're on the Farm Learning channel here today. We are currently at a farm just outside of Avenel in central Victoria, where I manage this property, and recently we've been through some pretty horrific bushfires. Over the past 4 years we've started implementing some natural sequence farming systems in our properties, and through the bushfires I'm seeing there's a lot of potential for implementing some of these. Now we have a bit of a blank slate and potential for erosion management before we get some big rains. I've got some learnings and observations for you that might be useful to everyone on their own place. This sort of sloping country is what I'm seriously concerned about. It's so fine to start with, and now we've lost all our ground cover. All this ash, when we get a heavy rain, is going to end up contaminating our streams and water systems, not only for our livestock but for our neighbours downstream and the wildlife in the creeks down further. So thankfully, over the past few years we've been learning some techniques that could help prevent a lot of this fine material ending up in our waterways. For very little cost and very little time, we can get into it very quickly and try and save this currently and improve the water infiltration into the future. So come and have a look at what I've been doing this morning. It might even be a help to you. One of the things I've been implementing is adding to our contour network. The good thing about contours is they're very simple. This morning has taken me 3 hours to do. All it took was a $1,000 laser level and a grader blade on a tractor. They're fast, effective, and they're cheap. The reason I'm putting these contours in here is to stop this ash and fertility ending up in our water system and poisoning it, because it will rain eventually. So the fire came down this hill very erratically. I'm not saying all fires behave the same, because every fire is different and every fuel load is different, and they all behave very, very differently. But we can see here that the fire actually burnt through the fire break, the disc fire break that we had in, and it's hit the contour, which was bare and a little bit more damp than the ground above it, and it has pulled it up. I'm not going to say this is going to work every time, but we're just lucky that it has helped us this time. Now we have an opportunity where a lot of our internal fences have been taken out by fire. It's a good time to rethink your whole fencing system and put contours in first and then fence to the contour rather than straight line paddocks. If you fence to your contour, you're fencing to your landscape. It's quite easy and effective to run an electric fence along your contour and break up your paddocks along contour. You'll see behind me the contours not only promote a lot of growth of different plants, but they continue to grow different green plants even in the dry times. Because contours promote so much growth of plants, it's important that we manage them with grazing so that fires don't escape and it becomes a bigger risk. Unmanaged contours can be a pathway through your property for fires, but as you can see here, no fire. Because we're expecting more from our fences, we've stepped up to an electric suspension fence. Not only is it cheap, it's easy to go around corners and it's low cost. Because of the simplicity of the dropper design, rarely do we get a fault, so that saves a lot on time and labour. There's two crucial elements that make this fence work. One being a quick, easy and adjustable end assembly. The second being a very powerful and reliable energizer. So contours really are this easy. It's just a matter of marking a couple of lines . Once you've marked out your contour, if you follow the edge of your line with the outside of your front tyre, that should put you on a pretty good path to keeping it at the right level. So as you can see, If you aim to put the outside of your front tyre on the line you've marked and just follow that along, that should give you a very good level. As for your final pass, this is your final pass. It should be like a little mini contour on the bottom side of your actual contour. What we've done here with this contour is between 2 and 4 passes on the top side, and then a final pass to neaten it all up and give yourself a little contour so there's something for the water to spill onto water. The second contour is not an option, it's essential. And now we know exactly where to put our fence line in. I'd like to thank the Farm Learning Channel for this opportunity to make these videos today. I really hope that no one has to go through what we've been through in the past month. There's always an opportunity in every bad situation, so I hope you can learn from some of the tricks we've done today to make your farm more resilient into the future. So just a few tips on earthing your electric fence. Probably the most critical part of the electric fence is the earth system. What we've done here is used a super earth kit, and we have put high conductive aluminium wire between the earth stakes. We have used high conductive lead out wire from the fence in 3/4 green line poly, silicon the ends. We're using the joint clamp here, and I'm also in other parts using crimps. We've used 12 super earth kits here, and they're a minimum of 10 metres apart. We always really focus on the joints, super critical, because that's where your electric fence breaks down and causes issues.